Okay, Shabab, now we will talk about week 7 lecture on OUs, Organizational Units 7. What are OU? OU are for organizing your Active Directory, your structure, okay, for the easy administration of your objects. Okay, we create OUs. They mirror your organization, your business. And you can have OU, let's say, for faculty, OU for students, or OU for this campus, OU for another location. So you are making your administration easier. Okay? And each domain can have its own OU hierarchy. Okay? So here, if you look here, we have this finance is an OU, management is an OU. Can you see it down there? These are all OUs. Okay? What are OUs? They are logical containers holding common objects, okay? And you can store a diversity of objects in an OU. Many things can be stored in an OU. For example, users, computers, printers, okay? Also, they are used to organize Active Directory objects. You can nest OUs. I can have OU inside an OU, no problem. Understood? We call it OU nesting. Shabaka. And also you can delegate OU to a group. I have one OU, let's say for finance. I can give delegation to manage this OU to certain group or users. If you look here, we have this domain and we have this. How many OUs we have here?
3.
1, 2, 3. No. Now we need to know also, not everything on your Active Directory is created by you. Some of them are already created for you. We call them default containers. Okay? So when you promote your server, which we will do inshallah in our lab, maybe next week, when you promote your computer to become a DC, new containers will be created for you, default containers. Okay? And why they are unique? Because they cannot be renamed or deleted. Okay? Salam. For example, computers, domain controller, these are default containers. You cannot delete them. Okay? Lost and found is a default container for orphaned objects. Managed service accounts is a default container for managed service accounts. Users is a default container for upgraded user accounts. Okay? Let's talk now more about these containers. We have also something called hidden containers. Okay? And you can go to advanced feature and see to unhide them, but we don't need to do that. Just for learning, but you don't need to unhide them. Okay? This is very important. This is always coming in the exam. Delegate OU. So let's say here, let me maximize this. I will. Container is like an object. I will explain to you now. But let me just tell you about delegation. Let's say here I have a human resource. And let's say a human resource is in a branch far away from me, from the head office. And you are system administrator. And some tasks there, very simple tasks. And you want someone to manage some of the tasks there. Do you need to travel there every time they have a problem? Or it's better you give delegation for specific tasks for a certain group. It's easier, so you give delegation for specific tasks to a group, security group. This is delegation. We call it delegate control. Okay. I will ask you a question. This is not here, but let's say you delegate. You are traveling. You delegate your task, and something happened. Who's responsible? Yeah. Who can answer this question legally, or at least in some companies? Who will be responsible? Simple matter. Let's say you have a branch, and that branch they have printer. They purchased a new printer. They want to add it to the system. They want to do some administrative work. Do you have to travel there? Well, you can put there, assign one technician. He can do these small things. صح ولا لا? It's better like. So this is the purpose, one of the benefits of delegation. Okay? So here we talked about OU. We learned about OU. We are very familiar with OU. Why these chapters are small, but when you do the lab, we need to create. We need to create OUs. Otherwise, we'll not be able to do the lab. That's why I'm doing these labs first before we do our these lectures first before we do our lab. So that when we start the lab, when we upgrade our server into, when we upgrade our